This is the Volunteer Monthly Monitoring or VMM Sampling Training video. CRWA uses the data collected from the VMM program to identify problem areas in the river, long-term trends in water quality, and track efforts to clean up the Charles. The samples from each of the 35 VMM sites are tested for E.Coli, but some are also tested quarterly for total suspended solids, chlorophyll A, and/or nutrient pollution. At the end of every year, we get a report card on the river's water quality. Your sampling builds on historic data that provides a critical reference on aspects of rivers' health. From 1995 to now, the water quality of the Charles River has improved from a D to A's and B's, and the VMM program helps us stay on track to continue getting better. VMM sampling events are typically the third Tuesday of every month, but there are exceptions for some months when it's changed to accommodate holidays. You can visit the full calendar of sampling dates on our website for any questions. Preparation. Before you plan to sample, contact your partner and decide where and when to meet, but keep in mind that samples must be collected before 6:30 a.m. Check if you have all your bottles. If you're missing bottles or need more for the following month, you can request them at your drop-off site after collecting your samples. Make sure you have all your equipment ready the night before. Your checklist includes a basket sampling device with an attached weight, a rope with a carabiner attaching it to the basket sampling device, a depth measuring line with a weight attached, a tape measure, a thermometer, your temperature bottle, safety gloves, your phone with the Survey 123 app, a small cooler for transporting sample bottles, your ice or ice pack, and of course, your sample bottles. Additionally, you may want a flashlight, batteries for your flashlight, and a reflective vest or life jacket. Sampling day safety precautions. First of all, sampling can proceed in rain or snow, but you should never sample in thunder or lightning conditions. In severe weather, sampling may be postponed. If this happens, CRWA staff will communicate that via email. Please check your email and reach out if you're unsure whether or not the event has been canceled. Now, while of course we want the water samples, our highest priority is your safety. Please use common sense to be safe and visible to cars around any corner in the road. If you're sampling in a high-traffic area with little or no shoulder, you might consider setting up a traffic cone near your site. Sample collection. Be aware that a few sites use a different sampling method than the one we cover here. More information on these locations and alternative methods is in the Volunteer Monthly Monitoring Manual on our website. First, you and your partner should each put on a pair of nitrile gloves. Record the date, weather, and field comments on your phone in the Survey 123 app before you start. Field comments should include forgetting to wear gloves while sampling, observations about the environment such as smells, wildlife, or water levels, and anything else that you reasonably think would affect the sampling results. Before collecting your sample, you should rinse your basket 3 times. For this, place the basket on a sturdy surface. Before lowering your basket into the river, you should make sure that your partner is holding the other end of the rope, or that you're stepping on it to ensure that it doesn't fall into the river. Look up and downstream to make sure you don't lower the device onto any boaters, rowers, or wildlife. Now, gently lower the basket to the river and then rinse the basket off in the water 3 times. Next, carefully raise the basket up to the bridge without letting the basket touch any part of the bridge or the loose rope. Place the basket on your sturdy surface and place your bottles in the cuffs. You should not remove the lids of the sampling bottles until you have secured them in the basket. When you have done this, you can remove the lids and hand them to your partner. The bottle must be at least 3/4 of the way full. If it isn't, discard the sample and the bottle. If this happens and you have an extra bottle, get a new bottle and collect a new sample. Note that any floating debris in the water is a natural part of the sample and should not be removed. You should collect the sample from 2 to 6 inches below the water surface. Securely cap the bottle without touching the inside of the bottle or the lid. Remove the bottle from the cuff and immediately place the sample on ice. Note the exact time of sample collection and record this information in your phone in Survey 123. Field duplicates. To know if you should take a field duplicate, check emails from the coordinator of the event. If asked to take a field duplicate, lower your basket 2 or 3 times while sampling. This includes once for your regular sample and temperature bottle, and once for your field duplicate sample or samples. If you are collecting in a nutrient bottle as well, you will need to lower the basket once for your regular samples, once for your field duplicates, and once for your temperature bottle. But a regular sample and its field duplicate should never be in the same basket together. You do not need to rinse the basket again between these 2 samples. Temperature. Note that the temperature cup does not have to be sterile. If the cup does not fill enough to take the temperature, you can pour it out and try again. Once the cup is full, you should prepare the thermometer. Make sure you measure the temperature in degrees Celsius. Place the thermometer in the cup approximately halfway in. Avoid touching the probe to the sides or the bottom of the cup. Wait until the reading stabilizes and then record the reading in Survey 123. Depth. Note that the depth reading should be taken from the same location on the bridge every month, ideally as close to the middle of the river as possible to avoid abutments and other obstructions. Use the rope to lower the weight to the surface of the water. Then attach a clip to the rope parallel to the bridge or railing. Now you can lower the weight to the bottom of the water. Once you feel the weight on the bottom, raise the line a little and gently tap it to ensure that your weight is not on a submerged object. The accuracy of this method depends on the speed of the water. For accurate data, lower the weight quickly and leave a comment on the datasheet if the water was moving quickly when you took your measurement. When you're sure the weight is on the bottom, clip the line parallel to the bridge like you did before. Now pull up the entire rope, lay the line out where you can, and measure the distance between the clips to the nearest inch. This is the approximate water depth. When done with this, you can record the measurement in Survey 123. Finally, you can remove your gloves and dispose of them when you get to a trash can. Survey 123. Please fill out the sheet including your site number, location, time of sample collection, date of the event, any field comments you took at the site, and whether you took a field duplicate. Then take note of the weather conditions when you went out and the names of all the volunteers sampling at your site that day. You will also be asked for the collection method. Fill out the box indicating what method you used to collect the samples. The method shown in this video is the basket method. If you used another method, the name is in the VMM manual on our website. Record the temperature in degrees Celsius. If you used a digital thermometer, record the exact measurement the thermometer displays. Record the final depth measurement and note the location along the bridge or shore where you took your depth measurement. At the bottom of the sheet, please copy any field notes, observations, and any equipment needed for the following month. If you complete this sheet while sampling, the information will already be in Survey 123, and you will not have to do this after sampling. The drop-off site. Before waving goodbye to your water samples at the drop-off site, please have any necessary data transferred accordingly. Fill out the chain of custody form by noting your site number, the date, the time you took your sample, how many bottles you turned in, and whether or not you preserved the samples on ice. Then, sign your name on the chain of custody form. The chain of custody form should accurately track each sample through all exchanges to its final destination at the lab. When this is done, turn in your data sheet and all the samples you collected from your testing site to the drop-off site coordinator. You can get any extra data, sample bottles for the next month, and gloves you need from the drop-off site coordinator before heading out and going back to bed. Now you can review any parts of the video or the training manual you need. Thank you for watching. We appreciate your commitment to sampling in the field and keeping up with procedures for proper sample collection. Have fun sampling!